Hello and welcome to CNC English News today. Our headlines for today. Real estate expert says that resident housing in Cambodia is still at high demand. While CDC approved to establish 4 bags factory, which was around $15 million. And the final headline is E-Gates is open at Cambodian Airport. Real estate expert says resident housing in Cambodia is still at high demand. Real estate experts in Cambodia believe that home real estate sector is still at high demand in Cambodia over a longer period, because there is still a gap between the number of houses and the number of households, as well as the population. If we look at the trend of how people live, especially young generation, they seem independent, wanting to live separately from their parents. Mr. Chrak Soknim, president of the Association of Valuer and Real Estate Agencies of Cambodia, has recently confirmed that many families are still living together with their grandparents and their children. But in the future, this is likely to change, leading to the need for homes to live separately. Mr. Soknim also claimed that the number of people and the number of existing houses and new housing developments in Phnom Penh have not yet met the demand. Therefore, housing development needs to continue. According to a report of the Department of Land Management, Urbanization and Construction, Phnom Penh's construction sector has received more development in 2018 compared to 2017, with a focus on investment land side. The same report also said that the number of projects planned for 2018 was 1,025, with investment was more than $2.4 billion. While in 2017, investment was around only $1.8 billion. Cambodian trends also seem to come to condominium style that leads to investment of condo, which has expanded continuously in both small and medium size. Until the end of 2018, there were about 1,100 condo buildings in Phnom Penh, ranking from 5 to 40 floors. And coming to rubber plantation industry, in 2018, Cambodia sold rubber to overseas market was nearly $300 million. Based on a report of the General Department of Rubber, Cambodia has exported more than 220,000 tons of rubber in 2018, earning nearly $300 million. Mostly exported to Vietnam, Malaysia, China, and Singapore. According to the same report last year, the total amount of rubber exported overseas was around 220,000 tons, an increase of about 30,000 tons, equivalent to 15% comparing to the same period in 2017. And for the price of the rubber, the average is $1,319 per ton, decreased by $262 per ton if we were to compare to 2017, which the price was around $1,500 per ton. His Excellency Mr. Sen Kakada, delegate of the royal government in charge of General Department of Labor, said some Vietnamese investors invested in the cultivation of rubber's agro-industry in Cambodia, more than 100,000 hectares of land in Kampong Thom, Siem Reap, Udon Min Chai, Kroche, Mondulkiri, and Ratanakiri province, with a capital of over $800 million. And now the investment is employing around 10,000 local workers, and the number will increase to 40,000 by 2020. Not to mention, Cambodia has a total land of over 440 hectares for rubber plantation, of which more than 200,000 hectares are ready to harvest. And CDC approved a 4 bags factory to establish their business was around 15 million. The Council for Development of Cambodia, CDC, Tuesday announced that it has granted permission to establish 4 bag factories worth 15 million. Responding to the request of the investment companies, the Cambodian Investment Board of the Council for the Development of Cambodia has issued certificates of registration to the following companies: Shining Cambodia Belt and Bag Co. Ltd., producing all types of belts and bags with investment plot in Lot A in Kong Pisai district in Kampong Speu province, will invest its capital of approximately $3.36 million, which will create 735 jobs. The second company, Fidelity Cambodia Handbags Factory Co. Ltd, making all kinds of handbags, located in Po Sanjay district in Phnom Penh, whom will invest its capital around 3.60 million, which will also create 1,745 jobs. And the third company is Pathage Cambodia Co. Ltd, producing bags and located in Som Rang Tong district in Kampong Speu province. And their capital investment will be 5.68 million, and they will also create 2,059 jobs. And the last company is Cambodian Cambodia Co. Ltd, producing bags and bags accessories, located in Po Sanjay district of Phnom Penh, who will invest $2.37 million and also will create 1,122 jobs. And early this year, CDC has approved 13 investment projects worth nearly $70 million. And our top story today, again, on the ecotourism sites. Even though Cambodia have various ecotourism sites, yet we don't seem to attract a lot of tourists. Cambodia is still heavily depending on the historical and cultural value of Angkor Wat, Phnom Penh, and coastal areas, while the eco-tourist area attracts very little tourists. According to the government report, Cambodia received about 6.2 foreign tourists in 2018, increased by 11% compared to 2017. Phnom Penh is the largest tourist destination, receiving 2.97 million tourists, which was 48% of the total, followed by Siem Reap receiving 2.29 million tourists at 37%. The coastal area about 860,000, equal to 14%. And the last eco-tourist area welcomed only about 60,000, accounting for 1% only of the total visitors. A study of World Bank showed that Cambodia needs to diversify tourism destinations by focusing mainly on ecotourism in the north and spanning to northeast side of the country, with the launch of wildlife adventure parks and pedestrian excursions activities. Then Cambodia can develop strategy to meet those needs. Potentially, marketing area including ecotourism, especially wildlife adventure parks and the pedestrian excursion in Cambodia, has a vast area covered by national park and biodiverse reserves. The number of international tourists visiting Cambodia has been driven by 1.9 million Chinese tourists, increased 71%, which is ranking first, followed by Vietnamese visitor, but still decreased by 5%, and Laos decreased by 19%, and the both countries ranking second and third respectively. While Europe tourists fell by 6%, United States decreased by 3%, and tourists from Australia decreased by 8%. However, the Ministry of Tourism predicts the number of foreign tourists visiting Cambodia will reach 15 million by 2030, which will also generating revenue of $10 billion and producing up to 2 million jobs. And our last top story today, and also very good news, our Cambodian airports will launch e-gate system. His Excellency General Kit Chantirat, Director General of General Department of Immigration, Friday launched e-gates at Phnom Penh International Airport, aiming to reduce queue to get passport stamped. He said that Ministry of Interior of Kingdom of Cambodia today has launched the first e-gate system allowing Cambodian passengers to travel through international airports gateway in Phnom Penh and also in Siem Reap for free of charge. The e-gate system itself runs automatically without any operation from immigration officers, except some technical difficulty that may require assistance. The process of the system is very convenient for our people, and it takes less time and fast, he confirmed, adding that each passenger needs to spend only 5 to 7 seconds to pass through the e-gate. Therefore, we will be saving time, hassle-free on writing on the immigration card. All you need to do is just scan your passport and get through. And that's all for today. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you again tomorrow.